The sun, the waves, cocktails on the deck. This is lakefront living, and it's only for the rich. Or so you thought. Here, prices can run in the millions, but today, we're looking for a bargain, and we want to be right on the water. All for under $30,000. This is Everyman boating. Ah, finally, a boat big enough you can actually yell at your kids, "Go to your room!" Meet the 32 Carver aft cabin. This is the boat that would define the big little yacht. Okay, well, not the very first aft cabin flybridge. It was far and away the most popular, at least on the Great Lakes around me. Beginning life in 1983, Carver quickly expanded their 3007 model that debuted in 1981 to a new even 32. Unlike the popular game other manufacturers play of simply changing the name to make it sound bigger, they truly did expand the boat in length and beam while holding a pretty similar cabin and deck layout. Or maybe they just measured differently, who knows? Oddly, after all these reviews, it almost seems bonkers to me now that a manufacturer would actually take the time to expand a model 2 foot longer, rather than just take the lazy route. So, round of applause for Carver. Yeah! Woo! As Carver was entering the early 80s, they were beginning to shift their design focus from sportsman to sport coat. No longer was Carver marketing their boats as just a coastal cruiser ideal for fishing adventures, but rather they began turning their attention towards ascot and evening dress wearing yuppies. And why not? They were the ones with the money. Even if it was all borrowed or made from Colombian imports, let's call it cocaine. This 32 with its aft cabin design would become a staple for design, not just for Carver, but really all cruisers.
It's really nice. I love the open concept.
As it was quickly copied by other manufacturers and upsized into models much larger. And they ran this design for decades, because at the end of the day, who wouldn't want to take their tri-level house with them on the water for a weekend? And make no mistake, this thing is purely a floating condo. For God's sake, you could list this thing as a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, and HGTV would probably come banging on your door trying to roam millennials through it for house hunters.
No granite countertops. I don't know. No stainless steel appliances. Not sure about these cabinets.
We'd have to redo that.
Ugh, I don't know about this hardware, Tom. I mean, how can I deal with that when I'm taking a shit?
I mean, I love the hardwood. I wish there was more of it.
Man, it's $10 over budget. I mean, is there a way we can work on that price, Don?
At 32 foot long, it's packing a lot of cabin in.
So I guess this must be the master then.
And it feels very roomy, especially with its 75-inch of cabin headroom. Brag! Luckily with a beam of 11 foot 7 inch, and the aft cabin being relatively lower in the boat, and taking with it a center of gravity, it's pretty manageable in the tippiness department. Although I'm sure as you start stacking friends and family up on the bridge and deck, things probably start getting uncomfortable, and you find this thing start to feel like a weeble wobble. She's about as fast and agile as an elephant, and weighs about the same. Hell, damn near the same height too. That said, you're probably not going to take this thing out for the fun of it, so you probably aren't really interested in its ride. Although pushing anything weighing 6 tons at slow speed, we're talking cruising speeds in the teens here, and you'll likely feel pretty comfortable in average seas.
Oh, okay, this must be the bathroom since there's a toilet in here.
So, there's the flybridge. Yeah, who cares? Look, this is a lake house. You're not going swimming off the back at the beach. You're not going to take the kids wake surfing with it. It's all about the cabin, and it's a damn big one. Look at the comfort of this thing. Unlike the Sundancers, you get these giant windows that don't make you feel like you're in a cave. You can set up a lazy boy and a flat screen just about anywhere. Easily cook a small meal, plenty of space to shove your crap and all your snacks. Have friends over, watch a sunset, get hammered. Although, I'd be careful how tipsy you get because, man, it's a hell of a fall off that deck. And it doesn't help, this deck isn't flat. But, as a floating home, it's a good design. Over the next dozen or so years, Carver would, of course, go on to improve their designs after retiring this particular model in 1990, as the economy took a turn for the worst, and the boating industry as a whole would get shook pretty hard thanks to luxury taxes and Chapter 11 on many manufacturers. Almost like boating as a whole was a hair band and Nirvana suddenly showed up to the party. Oh God, tell me this guy isn't going to start talking about ska music again. Eventually, Carver would create a whole slew of models ranging from 28 feet all the way up to 42 with this style. But this was the one that was really the big hitter. While many boats copied this layout, Carver got to enjoy the success of getting their secret sauce just right. Something about the styling is actually very balanced, and you could argue it has a pretty timeless look. While Carvers are not some giant offshore killer, their owners, current and former, seem to feel fairly confident in overall construction and longevity, with a pretty unanimous voice that they're not a premium brand, but they get the job done and are, for the most part, pretty trouble-free. That said, all the function and space comes with a price. Working room. Oh, good Lord help you if you actually need to fix anything major on here. There are lots of complex systems, all dying of old age in tight spaces. Heck, just imagine the complexity of events needed to pull a motor for a rebuild on this thing. It's in the middle of the cabin in the boat, and you'll find all sorts of little doors and pockets to access this stuff, but Murphy's Law will tell you that your problems occur nowhere near any access points. And as these poor things age, it's going to be commonplace to keep a flashlight and tool set handy. These boats are littered in marinas everywhere, but oddly, never leave the dock. No joke. I had a neighbor who took his Carver out like once in 5 years. He was a nervous wreck and just had the marina put it in and pull it out for him to bookend the season. They don't handle big water too well. They're not very economical, and with all that height and surface area, you're basically docking the equivalent of a fiberglass sail, which on a windy day can be nerve-wracking, especially since you probably only go out once a year. Price-wise, these things are bottomed out. We're talking cream of the crop running under 30 grand here.
Ooh, I don't know about this bathroom. There's no double vanity. How am I ever gonna brush my teeth with one sink?
And many are well loved, so there's lots of opportunity to find a nice one. But you'll see them with modern upgrades, all kinds of extra canvas, and well, really if you want a nice little starter condo with a stunning lake view, how do you argue with a $30,000 investment? Yeah, it's bottomed out, but you're not losing money. And yes, there's no appreciation here. And obviously the boat is only like a third of the cost. And true, the marina slip, winterization, and winter storage fees are gonna add up to be higher than your average condo HOA. But you get a 360-degree lakefront view, sunsets, typically some very friendly neighbors, as most are happy drunks by 10 a.m. And should you feel the need, a great little property you can drive to the islands or visit different marinas for a change of view. For some, this is the kind of boating they dream about. It's really a piece of that affluent yachting culture. You can proudly scoff at the sailors who call you a stink pot. And it's a bargain price. Is it worth it? Maybe. But for the love of God, whatever you do, get the damn marine survey on this bad boy. This is BoatBrain saying, keep the drinks coming. Until next time. Are you guys still watching? Oh my God, there's nothing else to say here. You're staring at a black screen. I got nothing else to say. Well, since you are still here, why don't you go ahead and do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button and tell your friends.